In Himalayan art, there are several figures that can be easily confused for the Hindu god Shiva. The Really what we're talking about here is a particular look that Shiva has, and Shiva in his simple form is with one face, two arms. He's usually white in color. He has long hair. He can have two or three eyes, but usually the middle eye is closed. He has can have a Brahman's cord crossing his right or left shoulder, depending on the artist. And there's always a trident. Now, the trident can also sometimes look a bit like a half Vajra. Then we can have a snake, sometimes a crescent moon tied in the hair, and seated in a relaxed posture. One leg extended, one drawn up. The hands can be in various postures. What we also have is a lack of ornamentation, a lack of excessive peaceful deity ornamentation, meaning we don't have a lot of jewelry such as a crown, earrings, choker necklace, short necklace, long necklace, a jeweled belt, armlets, banglets. We don't have these bangles, these armlets. We don't have these. So this is a general look. Now, sometimes there can be an antelope skin over the left shoulder, but that's not really Shiva. That's really coming from Avalokiteshvara. So who are the kind of lookalikes in Himalayan art where this can arise as a confusion? Well, the first one is with Simhanada Lokeshvara. Simhanada Lokeshvara rides on a lion, usually white. Manjushri rides on the blue lion. There's a little difference in iconography there. But Simhanada Lokeshvara has very little jewelry. I mean, some texts actually say no jewelry at all. And he very much has the trident and a snake that's entwined up the trident. So it actually looks like a medical caduceus. It looks like a medical staff. So the Simhanada Lokeshvara is very much has the appearance of Shiva. But then we have Nilakanta Lokeshvara. Nilakanta is another form of Avalokiteshvara, but it's directly borrowed from Shiva. Nila means blue, Kanta means throat, and it is the blue-throated Lokeshvara, or the blue-throated Shiva. And the blue throat actually comes from a narrative of Shiva where Shiva drinks a poison, and the poison he stops or he blocks in his throat, and it causes his throat to turn blue. Nilakanta is not that commonly found in art, but he does show up as generally as a secondary figure. Then we have the figure of Indra, the god Indra. Now we have many different forms of Indra, but depending on how Indra is seated, depending on what kind of headdress he's wearing, or whether he has no headdress at all and just hair, depending on what Indra's holding, be it a trident or a vajra that looks like a trident, he can also be confused for Shiva. Then we have now this gets a little weird now, because we have two forms, female forms, that look like Shiva. And the first is a Tara called Accomplishing the Complete Perfection, coming out of the tradition of the 21 Taras of Suryagupta. And in this appearance, Tara has the trident, and she has the general look of Shiva, and she rides a buffalo as well. Then we have the Hindu female deity Shiva. Shiva is with a long ah at the end. Shiva is with a short ah at the end, S-H-I-V-A. Shiva has a long ah, and this is the female form of Shiva. So it has all the attributes of Shiva, but it's not Shiva. It's a female form of Shiva, or sometimes thought to be a consort. So we have Shiva, the god, Shivaa, the consort or the female form. Then we have the god Indra. Then we have Indrani, the female form. We have Brahma, and then we have Brahmi. So we have a whole text, Indian text, that explains these female forms of the major Indian deities. So that's it. There's really only these five, 3 male, 2 female, that look very similar to Shiva and can sometimes be confused for Shiva when looking at both sculpture or art or paintings or murals. So don't forget, press the like button. You can subscribe, and you can also donate to Himalayan Art Resources and support the work we do.